This is an unclassified mission brief. I'm going over a linear ambush to destroy a motorized North Torbian squad that will be traveling from east to west across this road. We want to impair a DZ-9300 intelligence system, which pretty much can block our radio frequencies and jam our radio frequencies, and that's the goal of this ambush today. So we're going to walk through how we're going to emplace our men, our direct fire control measures, our TRPs, essentially assaulting through, who's going to be assaulting through, and then covering security and getting all the way back to the ORP. So we're going to start with the squad leader bringing the alpha team leader and the 320 to the spur right here to set up security across this road system right here. And then the squad leader is going to come with the 320 and the Bravo team leader to set up security on the western limits. And then after that, the squad leader is going to come and we're going to set up our support system. So our support system, we're going to have the Bravo 249, the 240, and the AT4. And we're going to set them up right here, and then we will go over their TRPs later. And then finally, squad leader is going to come back, and we're going to set up our assault element. And our assault element will be higher elevation, as you can see with the contour lines. And we're approximately about 250 meters from the road. And we're going to have our squad leader, our AT4, our Bravo 249, and our assistant gunner in this group. So once we're all set up, we're going to go over kind of the trigger and kind of what we're looking for. So our trigger is pretty much what's going to initiate the ambush, and this is going to be the CSK 141 moving south on this road past this merge. So the CSK 141 is our trigger because it has the DZ 9300, and that's our sole goal of this ambush, is to destroy that so they can't impair our radio systems. So we're going to do that. And who's going to initiate? So our initiation is going to be by the AT4 on our assault element, because that's the only weapon system that we have that can destroy this vehicle. And let's say it did miss, then we would initiate with followed by the Bravo team, AT4. So now it's important to go over kind of like our rate of fire, our engagement priorities, and our direct fire control measures. So we're going to go over our sectors of fire. So as we can see, we have our sectors of fire all right here. So from T1 right here, there'll be a building, to T2, you'll see kind of two buildings stacked as you get to the closer map. And for this, we're going to have the 249 and the AT4 who will be shooting between here. And then from T2 to T3, we're going to have the AG, the squad leader, and the Bravo team AT4 if the Alpha team AT4 does not directly blow up the CSK 141. And then finally from 3 to 4, right here, you'll see a little merge in the tree line all the way to where the tree line meets the road. We're going to have our 240, our 249 to finish it out. So these are where our troops will be firing, so we have no fratricide and no fratricide, and make sure that every weapon systems knows their sectors of fire and where they're obligated to shoot, and then where they cannot shoot. Also, so once we receive contact, once again we're initiating with AT4, we're going to have all weapon systems cyclic for the first minute, engaging in any enemy vehicles and personnel. We're suspecting around 8 or 9 squad members in the CSK 141. And then once that AT4 lands, we're also going to have these 3 claymores. So after we set up all our elements, the squad leader is going to come with the assistant gunner, and we're going to set up these 3 claymores. So this will be something that we'll do when we put our troops in place. And once that AT4 hits and blows up that vehicle, then we will initiate all these claymores. So that is something we will do to have a big explosion once it starts. And then our engagement priority, so the assault element is going to be moving from their sectors of fire to the east, as well as the support element to the east, so nobody, once again, is committing fratricide, and we have clear and focused engagement priorities, once again, to make sure we're safe as possible as we're doing this. So once we see this CSK 141, or we see any troops coming by on this road, we're going to have a spot report from our alpha team leader to the squad leader. So each element here is going to have a radio system. So the alpha team leader will give a spot report, giving the situation, the enemy, and just clarifying to all our troops that we see the CSK 140 war, as well as a North Torbian motorized squad, so everybody's prepared. And once again, once we see that vehicle pass this merge, then we will initiate once again with the Alpha Team AT4. So once this happens, we're going to assault through this LOA, but before we do that, we want to make sure all weapon systems cease fire. So we're going to make sure our support systems cease fire, so we have no fratricide, and we're going to assault through this LOA. We're going to secure the kill zone, and then we're going to, once we secure the kill zone, we're going to move through all the way to the LOA. We're going to have 180-degree security, and then if needed, we have an enemy prisoner of war team, and this is going to be our AG and our 249. And once again, as we're doing this, we want to ensure the DZ-9300 is destroyed because that's our key goal in this mission. So once we have our 180-degree security and our kill zone is secured, and we make sure any EPWs are taken care of, then we are going to head to our rally point. So the assault team is going to pick up and head to this rally point, which you'll see is close to the hill. And once they move there, we are going to move in a red, white, blue. So starting with the assault team, followed by blue. So then our support team is also going to move to the rally point, and then followed by our Bravo team leader and security over here, and then finally by our Alpha security system. They're all going to move to the rally point. Once we get to that rally point, we're going to have a spot report to hire about what went on. We're going to cross-level ammo. We are going to reestablish leadership if needed, depending on casualties. We're going to treat our casualties if needed. And then we're going to send up, once again, a full spot report to hire to make sure they understood what went on with the mission and make sure we're good to go and proceed with our next mission. Once we do that, we're going to move again a few hundred meters to our ORP where we'll finally meet, and if needed, we will conduct our final spot report. But this is how we're going to put our troops in place and secure our linear ambush. How we're going to evacuate the ambush system and get all the way back to our ORP to ensure we destroy that DZ-9300 intelligence system and ensure our troops are safe as possible, as well as completing the mission.